whenever I hire VAs, I don't expect them to have specific. Now, ideally, yeah, they should have expertise in that field, but not specifically for law firms. As long as they have good long-term experience in that field, then you could teach them anything in your niche or your specific thing.
And I saw someone else generating more income. I thought that was the issue, but I think the issue is more accounting than generating more income, because for the longest time I've been doing all this on my own and just kind of getting paid or not getting paid, like either way, but now I'm having a team. I think I'm now beginning to realize I just need somebody else for that, because with all the systems, I'm listening to everything you're saying and trying my best. I can't keep up with some of that stuff. So that's what I'm realizing is becoming a challenge now.
Okay, great. So anybody who needs to set up accounting, things like that, let's go through those things. The first one is everybody needs a CPA at this point. Have you ever worked with a CPA before? Do you have a CPA?
I think, yeah, I do. Like the person that helps with taxes.
With taxes, okay.
Yes, but I don't think he's a very good one, to be honest. But I mean, he was recommended to me. I'm not saying he's bad, but for the type of business I had and being like a new business owner, I feel like I didn't know a lot of information, and he didn't really tell me. He's just kind of like, at the end of the day, he's like, well, you're owing this tax. I'm like, how, but it's because I don't know about my accounting and knowing really how to do those types of things. And he wasn't, I guess that's not his job really. He's just doing the taxes. So I don't know.
Okay. That's fine. So maybe he's just not the right person. So let's go through the steps, writing it out. So number one is we need to hire a CPA. It pays to have a CPA that you can meet in person because it's a very important role. That person could save you tens of thousands of dollars. So ideally, it will be you would ask around for people in your city. Hey, which CPA do you use? Think about the successful people that you have in your life around you. Send them a text. Hey, who's your CPA? And do you recommend them? That'd be the best. Ideally, referrals from your local city. The point of it is so that you'll be able to meet them in person, things like that, for those high level kind of things you can do through a conversation to figure out how to save you taxes.
Hey, Sam.
Yes.
It's Richard. We have a CPA that does our tax returns every year, but we also have a separate company that does our bookkeeping. We found that very useful because the CPA is a higher level, more expensive service, but the bookkeeper is lower, and they do your daily and weekly, monthly bookkeeping.
Perfect. What's the company name?
It's called CPA for Hire.
Okay, and they work with anybody, anywhere around you?
Yeah, they probably do because they have remote. They have QuickBooks Online, so they do our QuickBooks over the internet for us.
I believe also Zero. By the way, everybody share resources with each other. Thank you, Richard, for sharing that. I believe Zero is the one that's very popular for this. I hired a VA in Philippines to do bookkeeping and invoicing. She has done so well so far. I'll talk about that. I do too. Evelyn says everything. You want to find somebody local. In the UK, there's differences in different countries. Yeah, different states, different cities. That's why. And also just being able to meet them in person. Usually the person who just does taxes is like maybe is good at tax, but not for the monthly P&Ls and stuff like that. So does anybody have any other resources for these companies that do bookkeeping?
Yes, I have one. It's Paul Carlson CPA. He's a CPA, but he does. His company is Carlson with a CARLSON. I can give you the information, but he specializes on bookkeeping for attorneys. So what is great about him is that they will make sure that your IOLTA accounts are okay. They will even push you to comply with the rules of IOLTA for your bar in your state.
Right.
And it's very cheap, and they are amazing. It's online. They do everything online. I don't know where they are from, in which state they are, but that's one. They are excellent to do the bookkeeping.
Do you mind sharing like around how much they charge, just so I can?
I'm paying $610, $610 per month.
Okay.
And I have 2 IOLTAs, and I have the checking and everything, and they communicate. I have for the taxes, I have a CPA who is also a tax attorney. So it's a combo. It's tax attorney and CPA. and we are all creating strategies for, I don't know, captive insurance and different things. And they are specialized also in attorneys. So these two firms are really, really, really good for me.
Nice.
Totally. And Evelyn shared that Paul is very good, but very, 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 very busy, which they all are, especially obviously during the tax season. Whether he has capacity, etc. Totally. Nice. And he lives close to David. Small world. Definitely pays to have work with a CPA who also has a specialty in law firms for sure. And then at the very least, everybody needs a QuickBooks Online account.
Okay, well, I guess I just didn't know how to use it properly because I got one and ended up canceling because I wasn't really using it to do anything.
You don't need to. You're just creating it for your staff or these people to use it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I do is I hired a bookkeeper from Upwork, VA from Philippines, who does my business categories. And this is imagining like a bunch of entities, all the business categorizing, reconciling, and preparing the monthly P&Ls.
What's P&L mean?
This is the lifeline. This is like literally like the best one pager that you need, like clarifies exactly your revenue, top line, and also clarification of all your expenses in the different categories. And the more specific those categories are, usually then it gives you more control of like what to cut out, what you're spending money on. This is usually done on a monthly basis. The entire law firm, essentially, if you get an updated P&L updated for you by the first or second week of the next month, all you're doing is analyzing where does I spend money on, where is my money coming from, and you have to make constant adjustments based on that. So that's essentially what accounting comes down to. Just literally having the software, somebody to update it, either bookkeeper or these services that we shared up top, and then having monthly P&L statements generated for you, not just created, but actually you do something, you put it, that means you put a reminder on the 10th of every month. The company either emails out to you or they send it to you and you print it out and you spend time to analyze it. How do they know how to categorize items where they're not working in your business every day? So QuickBooks, these days, QuickBooks and all these softwares over time, based on their other clients, imagine they have millions of clients. If they categorize this particular company name as so, then automatically feeds it to the other clients. Oh, this is most likely a this kind of category. So about 80-90% of the time, it already knows. If not, sometimes they'll do your team or your bookkeeper will give you a list. Hey, can you clarify what these things are, who this company is? And over time, what you just need to categorize it once, and then in the future, it automatically knows.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I was looking on Upwork already I didn't really know what I was looking for. I just typed accountant, but there were some in the US because I was thinking because of taxes. But to clarify, I need somebody for taxes and somebody for just monthly bookkeeping, which could be like anybody.
Yep. The bookkeeper to reconcile QuickBooks Online, I would clarify, because there's either the software that you install on your computer, but I recommend the online version. That way anybody can access it anywhere. Now, obviously, you can probably do that with the desktop version too, but I think it's just better to be on the online version for a small law firm. So bookkeeper is the main buzzword. QuickBooks Online.
For small law firm, that's how I can look for the position. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's plenty. There's literally hundreds and thousands of people.
Okay. Thank you. I'll start from there. I'm glad I'm growing because this to me is a sign that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Shandon says CPAs or accountants with experience working with law firms would, but there are law firm budget templates you can use to customize one for your law firm. So again, the next best thing is just right now, go put a job post with this. Have a title, short description, post it, invite as many people as you can. Give it like a day or two, come back to the job post, sort it by the lowest hourly rate, go down the list, see who has the most experience and can write well and detail oriented, send an offer and get them started. Let's just say, and then the things is set up QuickBooks Online for me. And then what you have to do, when you create the account, is you need to add all of your business credit cards, accounts, IOTAs, whatever, to QuickBooks so that it recognizes all those things. Then the VA has to go and categorize its expenses and then reconcile. Reconcile just means it matches everything. The data actually matches what it should be. And then prepare P&L and provide it to me. You'll get it. The first draft of your P&L will be very dirty and messy. You have to clean up the categories and things that you want. And I learned over time that the more specific the categories are, the better. You have more clarity on exactly what tools. I even use the exact tool name in the category name. That way it doesn't just say online tools. It literally does a breakdown of active campaign. It cost me this much. It's better to be more detailed than not. David shares, is it possible to share a recommended chart of accounts for small, medium, and large law firm? I find one of the major issues in hiring an outsourced bookkeeper in India or Philippines for my other businesses that they struggle to set up a COA for an industry in which they're not familiar. No, not necessarily. No, you could give them some guidance on what categories and things that you want, either if you already know it or just Google it yourself and just give them those resources. I want it to be set up this way. I don't expect, whenever I hire VAs, I don't expect them to have specific, ideally, yeah, they should have expertise in that field, but not specifically for law firms. As long as they have good long-term experience in that field, then you could teach them anything in your field, in your niche or your specific thing. But no, don't worry about that. Very good. Any other questions about bookkeeping, accounting, things like that? Essentially, it just comes down to make sure that you have your monthly P&Ls. That's the end thing that we need in order to make moves.
Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video, because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week, providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it. Go watch it.